And you know, and I know, and we all know that after Game 4 on Monday night, when the Lakers were eliminated from these NBA playoffs by the Denver Nuggets, LeBron James brought up the idea that he might retire. We don't believe it. I don't know if anybody really does believe it. But that has gotten a lot of people to thinking. And one of them is Kevin O'Connor, who does a great job covering the NBA for The Ringer. And he wrote a column, Ephraim, saying, giving 4 reasons why LeBron may have said what he said. 1, he might really be considering retirement. 2, he might step away for a year and come back. 3, Rob G, you might have to help me out because I want to save the one we're going to talk about for last. There was one other reason in there. Keep pressure on the Lakers front office, right? To, build around him and add a star, add better players, whatever. And this is the one I want to get to, Ephraim. That LeBron James actually wants to play with Steph Curry in Golden State. Now, let me set it up. Draymond Green and LeBron are really good friends. Steph Curry is the one, maybe the one player, I don't know if the only one, but one player that LeBron has said he would love to play with. Obviously, they would be in position to win rings. Golden State they're talking about bringing back Draymond Green and Klay Thompson, signing them to extensions, which means they want to maximize, understandably, Steph Curry's career there. So this going young now may be out the window, or, trying to go both routes. Win now, go young. They may just say, you know what, let's just win as much as we can now. And so they could trade a Jordan Poole, a Jonathan Kuminga, a Moses Moody, and Andrew Wiggins, any collection of those guys, to the Lakers for LeBron James. Now, LeBron might have to be like, look, go to the Lakers and say he wants out. And Draymond obviously would push for it as well. But Ephraim, first of all, what are your thoughts on that? And secondly, let's say just for kicks and giggles that it happens. And obviously they'd be a great team. And I think they could win a championship, if not more. Mm-hmm. Would that help? Would LeBron James winning a championship or 2, let's say 2, in Golden State with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, so et al., would that help or hurt his legacy?
I think his legacy is set. I think LeBron James' legacy as the second greatest player to play basketball is set. I don't think him teaming up with other MVPs, Steph Curry, a generational player like Steph Curry, I don't think going there and winning championships moves that needle in his legacy at all. I mean, it didn't move the needle for Kevin Durant when he went.
A tad.
That needle,
at least he got him some rings.
He got him some rings. What that did was it got him rings. It didn't move the needle. It showed us what we know to be true. He's not a leader. He's not the alpha.
Right.
You can go join somebody and become an intricate part, an important part of a championship team, but to be the alpha, the dog, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about the greatness, the greatest, right. The GOAT. We're talking about being the dog. And if you go team up with a alpha, with a great player, a generational player, yep. And Steph Curry, you don't add to your GOAT legacy. You get more rings. And I don't think the two are synonymous with each other.
I hear you, and I tend to agree with you. But let me throw this out. If he goes there, let's say they win 2 rings. Mm-hmm. I agree, because there are a lot of people of your and I, our generation. We, like you said, we got Jordan as the GOAT. And there's a lot of people of that generation. One of the big arguments for why Jordan, there's a lot of them, but why he is ahead of LeBron, is a lot of people will say, especially players that played in Jordan's era, well, LeBron handpicked his championship teams. When he went to Miami, he obviously stacked that team with Wade and Bosh. When he went back to Cleveland, he made sure they traded Andrew Wiggins for Kevin Love. Maybe that was a mistake in hindsight, but at the time, you remember, Ephraim, Kevin Love was viewed as a top 10 player putting up those numbers in Minnesota.
Oh, he's 25 and 12 a night.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And sometimes getting 20 rebounds, 30 points, 20 rebounds. So, and then obviously they had Kyrie. And then he wins his championship in LA. He goes there, and then they trade for Anthony Davis, which he had something to do with. And now you would be going to join your best teammate of all, right? Mm-hmm. Steph Curry. So I feel you. Here's what I want to throw at you, though. It's a little curveball. Our generation and those of us who have Jordan ahead of him now, which is most people, wouldn't move the needle for us. But going forward, I think most millennials, particularly after The Last Dance, have Jordan ahead of LeBron or Generation Z, but when they're controlling the narrative, I think more of them will say LeBron, like more than says now. I don't know that it'll be a majority of them, but it will become more of an argument than it is even now, and it's a good argument now, but it'll become more so because they will have grown up watching LeBron and really didn't see Mike other than hearing the legends and watching The Last Dance and watching YouTube videos and so on and so forth. But you couple that, Ephraim, with LeBron, and again, we're speaking hypothetically, if he gets 6 rings, you're right. He probably wouldn't be the finals MVP for all 6. But if he gets 6 rings and he's got all of, the longevity, the highest leading scorer of all time in total points, top 5 in assists, high, not too high in rebounds, but at least on the map in rebounds. Like, he'll have all these longevity awards, as many rings as Jordan. And then you could say and he went to twice as many finals as Jordan. I do think years from now, and I'm not speaking 20 years, I'm talking about 10 years, even less. I think that will be an argument that those that really didn't see Mike and really may not have even, just didn't see that, they're going to look at it and say, you know what, 6 rings equals Mike, twice as many finals appearances, and then he's got all these records, and that's an argument for LeBron, even if he's only got 4 or 5 finals MVPs.
Yeah.
And wasn't the driving force of the team necessarily.
I think the biggest thing is, if you look at LeBron James and Michael Jordan's careers, as of right now, LeBron James has played 20 years.
Yes.
Michael Jordan has done more in his 14 years than LeBron has done, 15 years than LeBron has done in his 20 years.
Agreed.
In terms of not the scoring and all of that. We get it. The longer you play, the more you go.
Really the scoring, because obviously points per game, right, is what we usually view it as. Right.
So that's where the roadblock happens. The longer LeBron plays, that just adds to the greatness of Michael Jordan.
Well, what LeBron faces, and now let's say he doesn't go to Golden State, or even if he does go there and they don't win, the longer LeBron plays, Ephraim, without winning another championship. And it's already Jordan won 6 rings in 15 years, and LeBron won 4 in 20.
That you can't even get past that.
Right? If it becomes 4 in 23 or 24, that's the flip side of it.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Then the longevity could actually be working against you.
So like I say, even if he wins another one, and that's 5 in 23 years, you're making the argument. You're making the argument for Jordan.
But I'm saying you don't think some, particularly the younger ones.
Of course, some people, look,
right.
It's the same reason we're still having the argument now. I got a shoe group a friend group that we, it's about 9 of us. We grew up, in this area, a couple of young cats. And, my brother, who's a hater, he hates the Lakers. And so he was like, what does this do to LeBron's legacy that he got swept? And I'm like, look, man, we can't debate the greatness. Like, what he was like, what does this do to the argument that LeBron's better than Jordan? And I said, we don't do that in this shoe group because we all are in agreement. All right. It's very little LeBron James can do unless he wins 4 championships the next 4 years in a row. Like, you got to do something crazy like that, right? For LeBron James, last 4 years, he won a championship each year and was Finals MVP. Like, something that's unattainable,
which is unrealistic.
Come on,
but
right?
you also might be like, do it in LA, without adding Kyrie,
right?
I'm just saying,
you got to do something beyond special. And I don't know how much beyond special is out there for LeBron James to be able to do. Going with Steph Curry and Clay and Draymond, that's not beyond special.
Right. Look, winning more rings, does that help your legacy? Absolutely. I mean, I look, if he had 6 rings, it would help his legacy.
Yeah, but not
where it doesn't help you is, at least in our generation, is the GOAT convo with Mike. But I do think going forward, it would help for those that really didn't see Mike.